Bogdan in Romania writes, on the second-hand market, there are many, many cables with an age of 10, 15, or even 20 years. Cables that were once very expensive, top of the line, and which can now be purchased at affordable prices. My question is, do the cables lose their properties over time, or do they remain at the same quality as if they were new? Thanks much, and thank you for all the interesting and useful information you have to share with us over time. Well, my pleasure, sir. I would say the used cable market is one of the greatest values out there. Without much in the way of exception, I don't think cables lose anything over time. Now, those exceptions, some cables, depending on what kind of environments that they're in, you can lose some insulation characteristics, especially in very humid environments. Asia, for instance, very humid. If it hasn't been in an air-conditioned space, you might find some problems, but I would say 99.9% of the time, it's not worth worrying about. So I just drug out my mentor, good friend, and former partner, Arnie Dudell, the late Arnie Dudell, who passed a number of years ago. I just pulled out a box of his personal cables that he fell in love with from Walter's, NBS cables, great cables. They have been sitting in a box for probably 10, 15 years. And I pulled them out and I thought, I wonder how these sound. And I hooked them up and I thought, wow, I now remember why Arnie liked these so much. I mean, there are characteristics to those NBS cables that I didn't like so much, but there were aspects to them that were just glorious, and they're still there. Those cables are probably worth a few $100s at the most, and they cost thousands of dollars new. So I wouldn't for a moment hesitate to go on the market, the used market, find cables that were glorious in their day, because you know what? They're still glorious and a lot better than buying some cheesy, whatever cable off of Amazon and suffering through that, because cables make a difference. Expensive cables make, if they're designed right, a really big difference, but it's not necessary to pay all that money for it, especially if you go on the used market. So yeah, highly, highly recommend doing that. Okay, go get them. Thanks. Bye.